I don't really talk to cameras, so I'm having a conversation with two guys. So the cameras will follow me.
All right, there we go. How about that?
If it doesn't make dollars, it doesn't make sense.
That's right.
That's on for you right there.
What I got?
All right now.
Welcome back to New Heights, ladies and gentlemen. Presented by Wave Sports and Entertainment.
Yeah.
Brought to you by our friends over at Fireball. Pound for pound, undisputed best shot in the land. That cinnamon delight. It's so tasty. We are your hosts. I'm Travis Kelce. This is my big brother, Jason Kelce. And we're at the Wave Sports and Entertainment Complex. Look at this.
Yeah, second week in a row, Trav.
New Heights decked out.
That's right.
New Heights comes to you every single Wednesday. At least we try and get it to you every single Wednesday. And then make sure you subscribe on YouTube and wherever you get your podcasts, and follow the show on all social media platforms at New Heights Show. Jason, why don't you tell us what we got coming up? We got
a good one today, Trav. We got a real good one, and that's because we have an NFL legend from Glenville High School. That's right. He's an 8-time Pro Bowler, 5-time All-Pro, almost shortchanged it, 3-time Super Bowl champion, and overall just legend of a personality. We got Club Shay Shay, Mr. Shannon Sharpe in the building. Let's go, baby.
You passed me in all pros, didn't you?
Huh? No. I'm right there.
You're 4.
We even?
No, I don't even think I thought you got 5. I only got 4.
Oh, yeah. We got 5.
We got 5. But see, you got 5 first teams.
Yes.
I got 4 first teams on the second team.
Oh, okay.
Right.
So, but you got me. I'll tell you what. I'll trade you all pro for another 1,000 catch season, 1,000-yard season. You got it. You gonna triple me up on those. You're at 7, right?
I'm at 7 right now.
You gonna triple me up.
8's got. You already know 8. That Ocho. I need to get that Ocho. I can get that 8th in a row.
Man,
you hear me, Patty Mahomes?
I don't think you got to worry about that.
You already know, man.
All right. Well, as always, we got to get to the first thing on the docket, which is new news. Here's with the new news.
Okay, what is it?
Just new news.
That's it?
Yeah, there's not much to this.
We try and harmonize with it. So he'll hit it, then I'll hit it, and then
new news.
But it's really no new news. New news.
There it is. All right, first item we got to talk about. Obviously, huge episode with you coming on here. Thank you, Shannon.
Appreciate you.
First of all, Club Shay Shay.
Yes.
You got the sweatshirt on right here?
Yes.
Looks unbelievable. So you're on New Heights.
I am.
Should we have called this Club Kelce?
Nah, I think New Heights fits you guys. I think it fits you guys. The only thing I would recommend is that you get a logo. I don't know what your logo would be. I don't know if you have a landscape or whatever your logo should be. Like my logo is kind of like me. You probably should get a logo.
I think
so. It needs something that when people see that,
they know
Jason and Travis.
There we go. Yeah,
I
think that just makes sense. That's good marketing. All right. Can I call you Unc?
You can.
How did you get Unc?
Man, I don't know.
I was about to say, where did Unc come from?
Man, check
Who
this
was
out.
the first person to call you Unc?
Who was the first nephew?
The internet started this. It started in 2016, and the Broncos were playing the Cowboys, and obviously the Broncos won the game, and I was like, I want to celebrate, and I was like, man, what can I celebrate? So I stopped by the convenience store because at that time I was getting up at 3:15 because I had to be to work at 4. Gotcha. Production was at 4, so I'm up at 3:15, get the dog settled, take a shower, get myself out, get there in time to get to production. And I was like, man, convenience store was open. I was like, man, what can I celebrate with? So I grabbed some Black & Milds, and I had a bottle of Hennessy, and I was like, okay. So I came out, had my Black & Milds, I had my bottle of Hennessy at the time,
legendary,
and I had a stocking cap on.
The meme is legendary.
And then from that point on, I said, man, he Unc at the cookout.
Yeah.
And it took off. Nobody calls me Shannon now. Yeah. Everybody calls me Unc or Shay.
Well, the first thing I wanted to call you was Unc, but I didn't know if that's the proper thing to say first thing to you. I was like, I'm going to go Shannon first. It's Unc now. I'm not saying Shannon again.
He's never called me Shannon. He's always from the jump.
We're supposed to ask this later, but I got to ask you now because we're talking about your name. Are you the toughest man named Shannon to ever exist?
Ever. Is there anybody else?
No, I don't. I think I own that one. I feel pretty comfortable to say yeah. I don't know, but hold on.
I don't really know many other people named Shannon.
Nah, Shannon Briggs was a boxer.
He's tough.
Yeah.
Boxing is.
He was a heavyweight.
Yeah. He might get that one.
Yeah.
If you're going out there one-on-one, throwing them hands.
Nah, I ain't throwing no hands with nobody. Nah.
I heard that's the new wave. Everybody post-career, you just jump in the box.
That is weird.
No,
that everybody.
I'm good. I don't need to prove how tough I am, unless I absolutely have to prove how tough I am.
Yeah, it's one of the. You don't want to do it, but if you have to, you're gonna have to do
it. For sure.
All right, find out.
We're doing a live show in Kansas City. I don't know if you know this.
Okay.
Have you done any live shows, and do you think this is a good idea?
Yeah. The thing is that how you guys are going to handle the noise, handle the background noise, the oohs and the ahs. Because, like, when we do a debate show, I love live TV because the response is instantaneous.
Yes.
I don't have to go back and listen and wonder what they're saying and look at the comments. Ooh, yeah.
You know it right away.
Boo. So I know. So that's what you're used to.
Yeah.
You score, it's instantaneous.
Yes.
You turn the ball over, you get boos.
Yes.
It's instantaneous.
Yes.
So us as performers, we're used to having it right then and there and not having to wait to get back to see the comments. It's like, okay, I like that.
Yeah. So it feels like you're the crowd. You feed off of that.
Yes.
You get a feel for how you're doing.
Yes.
All right.
And you guys are gonna do well.
I was about to say you're known as the locker room guy. You're always a teammate favorite.
Yes. I kept them loose.
Did you ever have to really dial it back in terms, because when you're going live, you can't just say what you got. It has to be a thought process, right? Like you can't just cut it loose, right?
The thing is that I play to the crowd. So I get a sense early on of what the crowd likes. And so now I'm building, even though I have my arguments already set, I'm building my argument already because I'm a performer. So I know what to say. I know what's going to get the ooh. I know what's going to get the ahs. And so now you build that to like get the crowd on your side, because now it's a competition. It's me against Skip. So now I'm trying to win the crowd over to get the crowd on my side. So yeah, absolutely, you play to the crowd.
And we're going to be in Kansas City. So
I guess we're going to be competing.
Yeah, you done.
I'm getting that crowd going in KC
you
now.
You probably should have went to a neutral site. That's all I'm saying. You probably should have went to a neutral site.
I'm screwed. Damn it.
Kingdom, hold it down for me,
all
baby.
right, for everyone listening and watching, you can still win some free tickets. Keep sending us the reason why you're the #1 New Heights fan, and we're going to start picking winners this next week.
Yeah, let's keep this thing rolling. Let's get into the 12 bold topics, or 12-ish bold topics. Get into it with my guy Unc real quick. Let's talk a little bit about the mentorship aspect of things. I've always told everybody how appreciative I am that you reach out on the good games and the bad games. You don't let you know what I mean, you don't let it slide at all. And I've just been so blessed to be able to have somebody like you in my back pocket or in my ear, just letting me know from a Hall of Famer's point of view on what I need to be doing. And I want to know, was anybody doing this for you?
Yeah, when I first got there, Steve Atwater, who was only a year older than me, he got there in 89, I got there in 90. Guys like Dennis Smith took me under their wings. And I kind of watched them and saw how they did things, the way, the professionalism in which they displayed. And I was like, man, I kind of want to be that role. I kind of want to be, when guys come in, they're like, man, I kind of want to be like Sharpe. Man, I like the way he conduct himself, because football was the most important thing for me. You know, back when I first got into the league, cell phones didn't exist at the time. Cell phones came like a couple of years later. Okay. But back then, if somebody wanted to get in touch with you, they would actually call the secretary at the Broncos. The Broncos would take a message, Candace or Shaniqua or Shanae call them back at this number and stick it in your box. And you had a box with your name on it, and so they would stick it in the box and your thing. And so as it progressed, then you had a voicemail that was set up. For me, and once the cell phone came, it drove me crazy that every time, like every break we got, you see guys run to the phone. Yeah. And they would start calling people. Yeah. And so I would just go hang the phone up. The person that you're calling, what do you think they're doing? What do they think you're doing? You're working.
You're at work.
Yeah.
They're at work. And if they're not, why are you talking to them? So I would just hang the phone up. And then they got the cell phones. And I say, see, you're going to be mad when they say, such and such want to see you. You're going to be mad to go say they effed over you. But they didn't F over you. Because that's what my college coach used to say. My college coach used to say, now see, you guys messing around, he would curse. He said, because I know what's going to happen. When I take your scholarship, you're going to go home and tell your mom and you tell your dad that I effed over you. Unfair. Now, when your mom and dad come down here all huffy and puffy, I'm going to pull out the film. You see your son? He fucking over me. That's why I'm in it. And so that was the approach that I took. But some guys, a Rod Smith, was like a sponge. I said, Rod said, man, because his locker was across from mine. I said, what you want? He said, I want to be like you. He said, I want the people to love me. I want the culture to respect me. I said, well, this is what you do. You do this, this, and this. Now, he was one of the ones that listened. A guy like Keith Burns listened. A guy like Dwayne Carswell, Chamberlain. A lot of the guys listen. But a lot of guys that come in, they think they know more than you.
Right.
Okay, hey, the information is free.
Yeah.
I give it to you. You do what you want to do with it. In Trav's case, I reach out to Trav. I say, bro, this is what I see. I see some things that you'll love this, you'll love that. I think if you do it this way, I think you have some success. Just try it. I'm not saying, hey, I'm just telling you some things that I saw that I think could help you.
When did this start? Was this?
Probably like about 3-4 years ago.
So, okay. Gotcha.
About 3 or 4 years. Because I'm hesitant to give information when someone doesn't reach out.
Sure.
But he's one of the few that will take the information and don't feel like I'm a know-it-all or I'm trying to tell him, well, who is he to tell me what I do? You know, I'm this, I'm that.
Yeah.
He's like, okay, I appreciate that.
Yeah.
And so, good game. I said, I know you had 10 for $150 and a couple of touchdowns.
Yeah.
But I believe you could have had 12 for 175 and 3 touchdowns. Or if he has he has 4 catches. I said, what's happening is that you're starting to press. You know you're gonna get your catches.
Yeah.
Don't press. It'll come to you. Just relax.
I remember there was a game. We were playing the Rams on Sunday night. It was actually supposed to be in Mexico City, but they switched it to LA.
Yeah.
And that game, it was like the first game where both teams scored 50.
Yeah.
In an NFL game, and we ended up getting on the Bun side of that record.
Sure.
Scored the most points in an NFL game just to lose.
Yeah.
But I was a part of losing that thing because there were a few catches late in the game where I wasn't locked in, I wasn't focused, and he was mentioning how in big moments, this has to be more dialed in than your athleticism or like the fundamentals and everything.
Yeah.
Like you can't be thinking too much about the little things. It's all really got to be just.
You got to be in the moment.
Yeah, it's got to be
thinking about all these extra things.
I think the thing is because sometimes, like I said, as you start to press, you start to like, I got to do this. Man, I ain't got but 1 catch right now. Let me go ahead and get 10 catches on this 1 catch, and you can't do that.
Right.
I've never seen a guy score without the ball in his hand.
Right. Yeah.
You got to have the ball. So you trying to
Don't
run.
get ahead of yourself.
Yes. But he was very, very receptive.
Yeah.
And a lot of guys, you know, they and they blow you off. Okay, fine. You ain't got to worry about me. But I'm sorry. Because my thing is, I've already done what I've done. Mm-hmm. I'm good with what, man, yeah, he's better than me. Yeah, Gronk's better than me. I'm good with that. I got the most out of my God-given ability. I'm not judging myself by what these guys do. They should. Yeah. Hopefully they watch some of my game tapes like, man, yeah, I think I can do that.
Yeah.
But man, this dude here, I would have loved to have played in his era to really compete against it.
We're going to get to that one here coming up for sure. But I want to touch on this still because same thing happened to me. John Runyon used to play with the Philadelphia Eagles. And we did a radio show one spot, a local show in Philadelphia. And he told me something that Jeff Stoutland had been telling me. Mm-hmm. But you get away with stuff when you're younger, right? I was a little bit stronger, a little bit. And he's like, hey, do they teach you guys to have inside hands when you're blocking? Like, what do you, all you guys keep grabbing out here? And I was like, some of those guys just do that. He's like, I'm not just talking about those other guys. Like,
I'm talking about you.
I'm letting you know your hands are outside.
Yeah.
And at first, I kind of had what you were just saying. Like, I'm like, man, what's this dude coming at me for? Like, out of nowhere. Mm-hmm. But next time I'm watching film, I'm like, you know what? John's right. Like, I do have my hands outside. Right. And that's why I'm getting pushed back on this play right here. That's why I'm not able to solidify the point of attack on the zone play. And it always means more. Yeah. Even Jeff Stoutland had been saying it to me weeks. You know what I mean?
Right.
But hearing a player that you respect and you know had a high level of success tell you that, it just means a little bit more.
Technique will keep you in the league a lot longer than your athletic ability because as you start to age, your athleticism will start to wane. And it's the guy that's more fundamentally sound. The reason why Tom Brady could play 23 years because he didn't rely on athleticism. Right. The reason why Peyton Manning could play at a high level for such a long time, he didn't rely on athleticism. You notice guys that rely on athleticism never have very, very, very long careers.
Right. Yeah.
Because once that athleticism Wayne, now what? And that's what he for a guy his size, he is fundamentally sound. He has what we call wiggle. He can drop his hips.
I know. Oh my gosh.
And see, he can drop his hips. He's not robotic.
I had to get elusive my whole life around.
Well, no, seriously, the first time we ever so we're playing high school football.
Okay.
Trav's a quarterback. He's playing JV.
QB, baby.
Playing JV, but he's
QB1.
doing scout team offense
Okay.
for us.
Yeah.
I'm varsity.
Not
I'm the older brother, leader of the defense.
Right.
I'm going to light this dude up. He gets out, scrambles, coming out the pocket. I want to take his head off, and I saw them hips. And those hips went one way, then they went the other way. Shook me. Now I got him back. The next play. I was like, okay, now I'm definitely good. But he made me look real silly there. And that was one of those moments as the older brother where I was like, okay,
He can be special.
he's going to have it. He got it.
Yeah.
The hips don't lie.
The way you
baby.
run, the way your knees, all that stuff. That's so you know when somebody's got it just by watching it,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
All right now.
I got to witness that firsthand.
That was the worst thing I could have did though is get you fired up about missing a tackle.
Let's be serious for a second. Is there anything that Travis still needs to work on though?
Look, the thing that I told him, I said, you need to be more of an asset in the passing game than you are a liability in the run game.
Okay.
That's not. He's not this third offensive tackle that they bring in for the point of attack.
Right.
Can you get in the guy's way?
Yeah.
I'm not saying you got to drive the guy 5 yards off the ball. I was an undersized tight end. I was 228 pounds. I played basically my career at 228 pounds.
Yeah.
228.
At tight end?
At tight end. My
Biggest dudes on the field.
my last year, my last weigh-in, I weighed 223.
Oh my gosh.
They moved me to tight end. When I got to Denver, I was about 220.
405 on the bench 20 times.
When I got to Denver, I weighed 221 as a wide receiver. When they moved me to tight end, I weighed 205.
What? Why did you weigh less?
Because I started running. I couldn't, I was running. I mean, it was just run. I couldn't lift like that.
Yeah.
I didn't understand how to lift in season.
Gotcha.
And so, my eating habits was terrible.
Yeah.
I was eating every meal was fast food, and it's like, how do you? And I never had single digit body fat until I got to like 52.
It's probably good.
I mean, a double digit body fat.
Probably
till I
good
got
you're eating all that fast food. And you might have
Nah, it was
if you were
terrible.
eating healthy, you probably would have been like 180 out there. You know?
But I should have been eating more.
Yeah.
And so when they moved me, Coach Reeves, I was always the move tight end.
Yeah.
And so they just moved me so they could get me matched up because I could block on the move. It's just at the point of attack, I was just too small
Sure.
at 205 to try to root out a Sam Backer.
Yeah.
'Cause, I don't know if it was like, but when I first got in the league, everybody played a 25 front,
Yeah.
which means they had the linebacker on the ball.
Under, yeah.
And then they
Sam
went
on
to
the ball.
they went to an over front where they put the D in.
Yeah.
I don't know about this one, Coach.
DN's a little bit bigger.
I don't know. I mean, you try to hold up against Bruce Smith and Strahan and Reggie White. Like, I don't know, Coach. You might want to just like put me in a flex
Yeah.
position.
I remember this Tampa Bay Super Bowl. Literally, they put Ndamukong Suh out at a wide 9.
Right,
technique.
okay, yeah.
And we ran inside zone at him, and I'm at the point. I came off the field. I looked at a run game coordinator. I was like, man, I don't know if we want to run that one.
Yeah,
on
yeah.
first down, dog.
I used to tell TD all the time. I was like, hey,
Ndamukong
TD.
Suh put me. I was almost in the backfield with the handoff, and we're in the gun. We're in the gun formation. It was bad. It was bad
TD,
luck.
we used to run plays and again, he getting a 7. I wouldn't hold him really good against 7, 5, 9. 9, they did me a favor because I know we weren't running wide anyway.
Yeah.
So I used to tell TD, like, hey, Sharpe, what they looking like outside? Don't come this way. Don't come this way. Ain't nothing good happening over here. Go to Carswell side.
That's awesome, man.
So you said you saw Travis and you noticed something special about him.
Yeah.
What does a tight end need to do that you are like, that guy's got it? Or,
He has imagination
okay.
because it's not just 10 yards and out,
Yeah.
10 yards and in.
This is what the playbook says. Do this
Yeah,
and then
no. He has imagination. He's running a route thinking about, I'm going to run something very similar to this in the third quarter and the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
So everything is being set up to fool you.
Yeah.
And I'm watching him run.
He's a flanker.
I'm watching him run an out route, and I say, you know what? The option is coming. That whip route is coming off that same thing. At that 7. So everything looks the same. It's at the same. I mean, he'll change speeds. He doesn't change speeds as much as I did because I'm like herky jerky. I was like, oh, start, stop, speed up, and go again. But he's so fluid.
All right, we ask all of the former players that we've had on the show. What's your Mount Rushmore? Tight end Mount Rushmore. Who are the best tight ends in your mind in the NFL history?
I would take Trav, Gronk, K Senior. I don't think this guy gets enough love, but I'm gonna give him his flowers. He came in a little after me, Antonio Gates.
Okay.
Gates kind of
baby.
Gates kind of remind me of myself because he did a lot of change in speed.
Yeah.
I mean, it was like slow and slower, but it was changing of speed. But no,
purposeful movement.
Yeah,
though.
but I've
goes
never
back to it.
Why do you think he hasn't gotten the same amount of credit as those other guys? Because you look at the stats.
That speak,
Tony.
You know what I mean?
I was like, bruh, how could you score like this?
Phillip was just tossing it up to him.
Yeah,
too.
but I couldn't. Man, look,
He was just.
I mean, I had like big games. Like I'd have like 180, 200, 170-yard games. But Tone would be like 85 yards and 3 touchdowns. I'm like, damn, how did he do that?
How is he getting the end zone?
Man, I'm like, I couldn't score the ball. And plus he had LaDainian. It wasn't like they didn't have a running game. LaDainian was like jumping in the end zone. Like one year he had like 31 touchdowns. And
sick.
Tone could score like that.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna give Tone his love.
So other 4 people, you don't put yourself up there.
Nah, I'm good. I'm good where I am. I did what I did. I maxed out my ability. The way I ate.
You don't think you're a top 4 tight end all time?
That doesn't matter to me. Honestly, I don't lose no sleep. I put it like this here.
Okay.
And this is no disrespect on anybody.
Yeah.
I ain't trading my career with anybody's.
Yeah.
I wouldn't trade my career with any tight end.
Sure.
I brought my own food. And people ask me like, why do you bring your own food? I say because in the cafeteria, they're cooking for 100 guys. My food is made for 1.
Okay.
So that was my thought process. The way I trained, the way I ate, the way I slept was all about being the best I could be. I know there's no question in my mind. In my 14 years, I got everything out of my God-given ability. So that's all I can ask. Am I better than somebody else? I don't know.
Yeah.
I'll let guys that do that for a living grade me however they want to. But I know I maximize my ability. And that's all you can ask for anybody. Did he get the maximum effort out of his God-given ability?
Yeah. Well, I think it's very admirable of you not to put yourself up there.
No, I'm good.
Some of us not so.
I mean, I think 2 guys have to be up there.
Yeah.
That's Trav and Gronk.
Has to?
Why do they have to? They have to be. Because the thing that I love most about him, you look at the regular season numbers,
Yeah.
and he's better in the postseason than he is the regular season. So
Yeah.
what we call him is a big game.
Yeah.
The bigger the moment, the bigger he plays. Gronk was like that. The bigger the moment, the bigger he played. Very few guys, and who the hell you think Patrick's gonna throw the ball to?
Right.
You gonna throw it to him?
Right.
They know that. Okay.
I tried warning our defense, Shannon. I tried to do this on
80,000 people know that. Patrick Mahomes know that. He knows they're throwing the ball, and the defense knows he's going to get the ball.
Yeah.
And somehow he still finds a way to come down with the football. Gronk was the same way. I would have loved to see Gronk had he able to stay healthy.
Right.
His numbers.
When he had
because he might have had a chance to get Gates too.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
But the injuries, I mean, because he's so big, the only way you could tackle him was to chop him. And so now the knee ligament, the ankle problems,
Yes.
he had so many injuries that probably shortened his career. And that's what I think when it's all said and done, when it's all said and done, I don't know how you make an argument that says Trav isn't the greatest tight end. How do you formulate an argument that says he's not the greatest?
Well, you did say earlier this year that if he gets a second ring, he is the greatest.
Yeah. Because you look at his numbers, the 1,000-yard seasons, you look at the postseason, his postseason resume, and you combine those two. I don't know how you say it. Because I don't look at a guy that says, well, he has the most Super Bowl rings, so therefore he's the best.
Right.
No.
It's a team game.
It's a team game. So what about, the regular season? How many catches, how many yards, how many touchdowns in the regular season? Now, come postseason, we times that times 2.
Yeah.
You never come out of a playoff game where you watch Kansas City and you say, man, the Trav didn't have it today. he give you that work every single game.
Yeah.
I can tell you one. I got knocked the fuck out against Tennessee, and I did not show
yeah.
up that second half.
Do you
Didn't have an option.
Yeah. No, I don't remember that. That's the thing. I was concussed, Unc.
Yeah, hey, it happens. It happens. When you go into a play, let's just say, regular season, and you know there's finality to a postseason game. The thing about regular season, I got next Sunday, or I got Thursday, or I got a Monday night. In the postseason, there's finality.
Right.
Every postseason football game is a Game 7 in basketball, a Game 7 in baseball, a Game 7 in. They say there's nothing like a Game 7. So you're playing a Game 7 every time you step on the field in the playoffs.
Yes.
What's going through Travis Kelce's mind?
Woo-hoo. I'm making that entire week my life. I'm focusing everything on that exact moment, man. And it's honestly, obviously there's a lot that goes into just anybody's single success in the league, but Coach Reed had those playoff game plans are special, man. They are special. Everything that we've done throughout the season, he knows that we're going into the playoffs with just bangers, all the double moves,
right.
all the concepts that we run off of each other are going in. It's a luxury, man. It's a luxury to be in that offense. It's a luxury to play with a guy like Pat Mahomes because you always know you have a chance.
Right.
And when you're in these moments, you just get excited to make plays for the guys next to you.
Right.
You know what I mean? The stadium's got a little more energy to it. The atmosphere just seems more dramatic and more action-packed. And it's just, I just love the feeling of playing playoff football.
Right.
And I've been fortunate that I've played a lot of them at the house. that always helps. I don't think I've played too many. I think I actually have only played 2 games outside of Arrowhead in the playoffs.
Wow.
Outside of Super Bowls.
Wow.
Yeah. I think to Unk's credit, you do show up in the biggest moments. Even not just football. Saturday Night Live, like I watched you all week doing preparation for that. The moment the camera went on, it's the best he ever did.
All right now.
There's just something about, and we go back to that playoff game against Buffalo. Everybody's going crazy. Stadium's going crazy. There's only how many seconds left were there in that AFC?
The one you got in
seconds?
13
Yes.
seconds. Yeah.
15 seconds?
But the thing was, you're well enough to hey.
That's what I'm saying.
They do that again.
You have a presence of mind to like still communicate,
Right.
still be open to doing whatever in the moment.
Yeah, I think that a lot of that, it all goes back to preparation, man. It all goes back to what you're doing before the game, the event, whatever it may be, to make sure that you feel the most comfortable in that moment.
Yeah.
Right. And then you're like everything's based off of the instincts that you've created for yourself.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And
you and Pat talk about this all
just
the
go
time.
out and have fun, man.
Well, you and Pat talk about it being in the zone, right? Where you'll do something, you're like, I don't even know how that just happened.
Just blacked out.
Yeah.
When you're in meetings, do you and Patrick, do you guys sit next to each other?
Nah, we don't, but there's always communication. If there's something that needs to be said, I'll happily stand up or speak up without a doubt.
Right. Yeah. See, John and I we sat next to each other in offensive meetings, and the route says, okay, 12 to 14. I said, Tim, what you thinking on this? He says, at practice, go 12-14. I'm knowing you're going to go 8 to 10 in the game. I know you're going to be sped up. But just for time's sake,
oh, yeah.
Okay, what are you thinking on this? Okay, if he plays like this, keep it high.
That communication is everything.
Yeah.
It's everything.
Yeah.
And then you start to build understanding without even having to ask.
Right. Yeah.
So now you already know, like, all right, versus this coverage, and I got a version of an out route. If there's somebody out there, like if there's a post trying to take the cap off the defense, but you know what I mean, he passed the post off and that guy's out there, I'm not about to just keep running out there and get covered. I'm just going to sit right here and be wide open.
Exactly.
So it's just you start to learn the traits of just really what ends up being the entire offense.
Right.
You know what I mean? And you kind of create that as it goes. But Coach Reed has been he always says, I got 51%.
Right.
At the end of the day, it's still my offense.
Right.
I need you to run this corner. You got to be running this damn corner.
So how much leeway does he give you in the offense?
I am like notorious for fucking it up in practice.
Yeah.
So I'll test the waters. And he'll either give me that eyebrow, like, don't do that ever again. And I'll be like, got it, coach? But yeah, you already know, over the past 10 years, though, you build the instincts and the relationship to really, try and make it the best thing for everybody. Because all I'm trying to do is be convenient for Pat.
Right.
In certain situations, pull guys towards me so I can open up somebody else.
Right.
Like, it's painting a picture for the guy back there to make everything that much easier for him. And in terms of leeway, man, I've just been so fortunate that Coach Reed's been able to help kind of grow this position in this offense.
Right.
Because it wasn't like this in the beginning. I was more of a inline tight end. We're 2 tight end personnel.
Right.
Both of them are with their hand in their ground. And it was just a different offense. We had Jamal Charles and we were handing that thing off.
Right.
You know what I mean? Everything was kind of based off of the play action. And then as Alex Smith and this offense grew to kind of like the spread offense or the air raid, the zone read option, the RPOs and everything once Pat got here, everything's just kind of been growing, and he's helped me kind of grow with it and make this tight end position completely different, or just different than what it is across the league.
Yeah.
Shout out to Big Red, baby.
All right. We got to talk about Uncle a little bit. We've been talking about you this entire episode.
Yeah, I don't know what this is about.
That's what this next section is.
All right now. Tight end records.
Yeah.
Huge moment for me last year was getting to 10,000 and then gracing your when you left the league, what was the receiving record for tight ends in the National Football League. When you retired in 2004, obviously you held all the records for receptions, yards, and touchdowns by a tight end. Did you see the game change from when you first got into the league or when you first moved to tight end to when you were retired?
Yes, because when I first got into the league, everybody wanted a third offensive tackle. I mean, you had to be able to dominate the line of scrimmage. It was always, okay, you can win the Super Bowl if you bring your run game and your defense, because that's what traveled.
Sure.
Running the football and defense traveled. And so everybody wanted, San Diego, when I got to San Diego, the Chargers, smallest tight end was probably 6'4", 275.
Whoa.
They had Joe Caravello, they had Arthur Cox. I mean, they had 300 pounds tight end, they had Walker. And so they just wanted to run the football. They had Marion Buss, they had Ron Bernstein, and they just powered the football. Everybody ran the football.
Yeah.
And if you caught 40 balls, if a tight end caught 40 balls, he was going to the Pro Bowl.
Whoa.
That's
He was going to the
crazy.
Pro Bowl. And then all of a sudden, I came on the scene, and I'm like, I remember looking at the tight ends, because I think my first year or second year, Ethan Horton went to the Pro Bowl, caught like 30, 40 balls. And I remember just looking, and no shot on either. I was like, I'm better than him.
Yeah.
And I wasn't playing that much. I said, but I'm better than him.
Yeah.
And it's funny how it all started for me, because I was a tight end, so I was the big receiver, so I would always play Jay Novacek. I was always a tight end. Wide receiver, I was Tim Brown. I was whoever's going to get the ball. I put the jersey on who was going to get the ball. And so one day, coach put me in that tight end and says, okay, you're going to be tight end in practice. So, they hold the cards up, and it says, okay, run this route. I was like, how you want me to run it? They just go get open. I was like, okay.
I can do that.
And so I was like, okay. And so I just started boom, boom, catching the ball. And then I would throw the ball in the woods. I punt in the woods. And I remember Wade Phillips, who was our D coordinator at the time, and he blew the whistle. He said, Dan, put his ass in the game and see if they can cover him, because we can't. So that's kind of how I got started.
Yeah.
And they put me in the
Shout
game.
out to Wade.
I mean, I ain't know no routes. I mean, people don't, and I told this story, they put me in motion so John could tell me the route. So
No way.
run a corner. You got to out route.
I was about to say, was it the number tree?
Yeah.
Was it number? He was just saying, hey, 7. Go
Yeah,
run that
see,
7,
no,
run
no.
that
So
7.
he was actually literally telling me the route, because I was the Z, and then I played the slot.
Okay.
And so now they put me at tight end. The funny thing about the system that we were in, Coach Landry used to be a defensive coordinator, so everything was backwards. So on an offensive side, 1-3-5 was to the right, 2-4-6-8 was to the left.
Oh my gosh. That's messed
So
me
now,
up.
they say, okay, say 3, I'm going to the left. Sharpe, do you not understand? No, I don't. It doesn't make any sense. 22 years, everything right was 2, 4, 6, 8. And so that was really the hardest
Messed me
part.
up.
But once I got that down, it clicked.
Yeah.
And then John was like, he believed in me. He said, I'm going to come to you. I mean, he'd tell me in practice, he said, you could be special.
Yeah.
And I remember I got home and I remember calling my brother. I said, man, John told me I could be special. He said, you can be. And so every day at practice, I got to do something. I went to work every day, said I got to do one thing to make them keep me. One thing, I need one play, run one route, lift one rate, tell them what this coverage is. I got to do one thing to say we got to keep him another day.
Make an impression.
And from that point on, it was over.
Hall of Fame.
Well,
of Fame mentality right there.
that came close to not happening, because the thing was, I was on the board to get cut. I was on one of the last 12, 14 guys to get cut.
What year is this?
This is 1990. I was 7th round draft pick.
This is your rookie year.
That's my rookie year.
1990 was a
We're
good year.
playing, I'll never forget this, we're playing Arizona Cardinals. And one of the coaches came to me, he said, Shannon, he said, your name is on the board to get cut.
Yeah.
He says, now, you might not, but your name is on the board. He said, what you should do is go out there and bust your ass.
Mm-hmm.
He says, because if we cut you, this tape is going to go to all 31, it was like 20, I think 27, 28 other teams.
Mm-hmm.
And somebody might like what you see. They might like what they see. And so as I'm driving to the stadium, it starts to rain. Means we're not going to throw the ball.
Right.
So I'm not going to be able to show what I can do in the pass game.
Yeah.
So now I'm on all the special teams. I'm a gunner. I'm on punt return. I'm on kick return.
Yeah.
And so I was like, man, how am I going to show? Now, mind you, I don't get into the game on offense until the fourth quarter.
Right.
Guys, I cut everything to move.
Yeah.
I cut the referee. I cut everything to move. If you move, you were cut. On the kick team, because back then, On kickoff,
You cut on special teams?
no. I was on offense. I was cutting on offense. But on the kickoff, you could line up as far as you wanted to, and take off running.
Oh, yeah, full
So
head of steam.
I lined up 15 yards
Oh
deep.
my gosh.
And when I hit the line, I was in a full speed.
Yeah.
So when the guy that was blocking me, when he turned around, I was in his chest.
Yeah, you already
I
know.
shoved him
Out of there.
out of here.
Hold on.
Is that going to be the hard? That might be the hardest
For
thing.
you?
Yeah.
Are you out here making tackles?
What?
Oh, you were out here making.
Yeah, my first year I was second on the team in special teams tackle. My second year I
Hey, man,
led
we
the
need
team in
this film.
special teams tackle.
We need this film, man.
Yeah,
I gotta see it.
So we came in that Friday. My name was off the board,
There you go.
just like that. That's how close to this story not being told the way it was told in Denver.
Yeah, but then you still had that mindset where you went every day.
Every day.
I'm going to keep my name off that board.
I got to give them reasons to keep me.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Obviously, you had all the records when you left.
Yeah.
Was there ever any of those records that you just didn't think was ever going to get touched? You still hold a bunch.
No,
Like the most yards in a game.
yeah, that was
215?
214.
214.
It's funny. I remember Greg Robinson. He was our defensive coordinator during the Super Bowl. And I used to tell him all the time, I said, if I ever played against this defense, I break the record against this defense. I say, because it's unsound. He said, oh, no. That wouldn't happen. No, Shannon, that wouldn't happen. Rest his soul, he passed away a couple of years ago. Lo and behold, he's the DC at Kansas City.
Oh my God.
Now that week in practice, I'm thinking because I kind of get a sense of how you can get a sense of the week. Like, okay, it's gonna be a big week. I used to call my brother, hey, bro, I think this might be it. This is easy. A dime and a bill. 10 catches, 100 yards. I think it's one of those type of games. He's like, yeah. So I remember going to Kansas City. I'm like, he's like, what is it looking like this week? I said, I don't know, about 5 or 6. Now, funny, because in the first half, I only had 31 yards.
I was about to say.
I had 31. And then we
299 or 290-yard touchdowns?
I had an 84-yard. So we come out the opening series. Coob said, offensive coordinator Gary Kubiak says, we're going to run the counter because I think they're primed for it. We run counter pass. I go past the line, but get cover 2. I hit the seam, and then the safeties.
Yeah.
I'm like, bruh.
Yeah.
Meet me in the end zone. And then we stopped them because they were blowing us out at that point. And then we get it again, and I catch another whole pass. And so I'm like, man, I don't know. I think I'm doing okay. And then after the game, I still had no idea. And then Jim Sacamano, who was our media guy, he said, you broke the record. I was like, what record? He said, you had just caught the most passes, most yards in a game. I was like, really? I'm like, how many did I have? And he said 214. I'm like, really? 214?
200.
I was like, there were some games that I know, like we played Carolina one year, and I had 174 and only 7 catches, and it was snowing like crazy. And I'm like, man, if it wasn't snowing that day, because they covered me man to man with the safety or the Mike backer. And I'm like, and that's all they show.
Yeah.
You know what? It's great when you see on film.
Yeah.
And that's like, are they really going to do
They're
this?
really trying to do this?
Because rest your soul, Sam Mills was the middle backer at the time. I said, I know they're not finna cover Sam Mills. And sure enough, I run a 7 route, and he's trailing me. I was like, oh my goodness, y'all in trouble.
Yeah.
We played Buffalo opening year, 95. Now, I missed all offseason because I had ankle surgery. If I'm not mistaken, on both ankles. And so I was gassed. Had I been in shape like I came in every year after that, I probably would have had 250.
Wow.
Because I dropped like 3 passes because I was just gassed. I was just gassed. But, you have those moments where you like, and that's why I always tell you, you don't think about it at the time, but you look back and you're like, man, I had 3 drops. That was a 13 catch for $180 and 2 tubs. Easy.
Yeah.
I had 6 or 7 this past year in terms of drops throughout the entire season.
Right.
And when you really look at it, 2 of them were end zones, and another like 2 or 3 of them were downfield catches.
Yeah.
And it's just, you look at them, you see how many yards you had, you see how many touchdowns you had, and it was like almost an extra 100 yards and 2 touchdowns.
Yes.
And it just beats you up.
Yeah, it does.
It beats you
Yeah.
up, and I promise you, man, you never get over that shit.
You don't.
I got to ask you this. Going into a game, you said you kind of felt when it's
Yeah.
going to be a big game?
Yeah.
Because I hear that from our guys all the time. Our receivers, quarterback, go up to Jalen like, what do you see this week? Oh, it's going to be a good week this week.
Right.
What are you seeing? Is it personnel who's they're trying to guard you with?
Yeah.
Or is it structural? Or is it both sometimes?
Well, for me, I'm looking at it like, who are they guarding me with? Safety, I say, nah, bro, you not big enough. Linebacker, you too slow.
So what do they do?
And so now, for me, when I broke down film, I never really looked at the linebackers or the safeties guarding me. I always looked at the number one corners.
Gotcha.
How does he play? Albert Lewis really was the guy that got me to the Hall of Fame that made me. He was a corner with the Chiefs. Mm-hmm. And he was long. He was about 6'2 and a half, 6'3", long limb. And he never gave me a steady out of anything. Sometimes he would feather where he would just like dance in front of me and I couldn't get my hands on him. Sometimes he would quick jam me. Like he'd be back and I was like, bam.
Yeah.
And then sometimes he would press me.
Yeah.
And so he never gave me a steady out of anything.
Sure.
And so I just like, okay, this is, if I can beat him, nobody else can see me.
Right.
But he knew that if I ever got my hands on him, it was. But he did a great job. Yeah, he did a great job of feathering and dancing. He gave me a steady out of a lot of different things. And so that was my focus, beating him. And then finally he was a free agent. And I know Kansas City at the time, y'all didn't spend no money. I said, well, finally. He leaving Kansas City. He goes to the Raiders.
I was about to say.
He goes to the Raiders. Because at that point in time, I'm killing the Raiders.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm just 13 for $156. I'm doing, 6 for $120.
Yeah.
Trey, let me tell you a story. I had $100,000 in my contract one year. I needed 121 yards to get that, get 1,000. Because $1,000 get 100. Going into the last game.
Ooh.
Going to the last game.
Hey.
Money day.
That's a playoff
money game right there.
Exactly. I had 6 catches, 116 yards, and 2 touchdowns.
No.
At half?
And then catch another pass.
No.
I finished 5 yards short of 1,000.
Please tell me they still gave it to you.
No. And check this out.
Man, hey, man.
And
Do
that
you ever get
right.
suspicious?
That ain't right.
Oh, yeah. Because guess what?
Hey,
the next week.
how many plays did you get in the second half?
Well, I played all. But
I'm saying how many did...
I didn't get another pass thrown my way. I didn't get another play.
You don't think somebody made a call?
Of course they did.
Yeah.
Because the next week I go out there.
Hey, Shannon's 5 yards away. Shannon's 5. Stop throwing the ball.
I go out there the next week. I go 13 for $153 and a touchdown.
Dude, I'd be hot. I'd be so mad.
Man, do you know because
who had one like that too was George Kittle.
Yeah.
Same thing.
Because he got close to almost beating.
Oh yeah, he had like 210
in the first half.
Yes, I remember against the Broncos.
Didn't catch a single ball.
Yeah, they can't let him do that against the Broncos. Oh. Anybody else, I'd have been all for it. You can't break my record against my team. Yeah, man, it was tough, man. I just know I was like, man, I'm about to get this. I'm about to get this. Somebody get $100,000. I was like, ooh. I was like, man, I was killing. I mean, that first half, I was killing Trav. Oh. I was eating. I was like, oh man. And they had Eddie Anderson cover me. He was a hitter. Mm-hmm. I mean, he caught a receiver.
That's a fancy way for saying he's slow.
No, yeah, but he would not. Whoever the hardest hitter is right now,
yeah,
he once caught a receiver coming across the middle,
yeah,
and then counted him out like he was in.
No, he did. That's bad. That's a bad man right there.
Oh yeah, but see back then they would.
How's he guarding the out route though?
No. Once they put me in that slot and I ran that 7, he took a horrible angle. I got the ball. I'm like, you want this?
Out of there.
Oh gosh.
But those were the times. For me, the defensive receiver and you can't hit the guy. I like, what is a defensive receiver? If you got a helmet and shoulder pads on, how you defenseless?
Listen, we're all on the same page with you on that one.
Well, no, I mean if you're reaching for a ball, but I mean, you're defenseless, right?
No.
Why
you
not?
got a helmet and shoulder pads. What do you think is supposed to happen?
It's gone overboard now.
Yeah.
Because now, like, defenders are defenseless on like a crap play. But put your have your head on a swivel.
And I see,
like, you don't got to defend yourself. Like, you just like,
yes. And I see that a lot of times guys.
How dare you try and block me?
Guys don't want to get that. Don't want to get that fine.
Responsibility on you.
Yeah. They don't want to get that fine. And so I see guys. You got an opportunity to make a play. And they let the guy catch it, and then they fly by him, and he goes for a touchdown.
Right.
I'm like, bro, come on.
Yeah, it's not good for the game.
Yeah, but I get it, because the NFL don't want another $1 billion, $2 billion concussion lawsuit, things of that coming down the pipeline. But I think they've tilted the field too far to the opposite.
Too much.
I hear you on that.
So what would you do in today's NFL, you think?
As far as numbers?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh, I'm definitely getting his numbers. I'm definitely getting his numbers for sure. Sure. With I need John, though. I need my quarterback.
I was about to say.
Yeah.
You put him in this offense, I can see.
But do you think the players on defense have changed a little bit? Because we talked, like, who was that linebacker that you said? The really big, but good hitter, but
he was a safety, Eddie Anderson.
Eddie Anderson.
Yeah.
You don't really see many of those guys.
No. But see, back then, if you're a linebacker, what linebacker says, he got drafted in the first round because he can cover? Most guys are thumpers. Most linebackers want to come downhill. Yeah.
Right.
So now you're asking them to cover in space.
Right.
That's not what they do.
Right.
They're trying to get to the quarterback or a Von Miller
Yes.
or T.J. Watt, or they're thumpers.
Yes.
Roquan Smith. Guys come. Fred Warner is better. He's good in space. But Fred Warner's not covering Kelce. He's not covering a Kittle or a Waller one-on-one.
Right, yeah.
He's dropping back. He's playing that Tampa 2.
Cover 3 zone, Tampa 2,
He's getting back in the hole. He got good speed.
Yeah.
He can drop. So for me, with a linebacker, I was like, bro, you got no chance, really, unless you got help over the top. And you know when they got help over the top, you ain't getting nothing today. But I used to come out there on the field and say, I'm going to give it to you the first half. And just so you don't feel left out, I'm going to give it to you the second half. So everybody going to get it today.
I'm still in that one.
Would you rather play a really slow player or a smaller player? You said before, safety's too small, linebacker's too slow. Which one would you rather?
Oh, shit.
Depends on what route you're running?
Yeah, well, because I just want on the smaller guy, I'm trying to get my hands on him.
Mm-hmm. Gotcha.
Because, see, the thing with a smaller guy, I want him to think he can get physical, he can get in my chest.
Yeah.
Because the thing is, I'm never gonna let you square me up. See, once you square me up, I'm dead. Mm-hmm. Once I give you this, I give you the 8 and the 4, I'm dead.
Right.
I might as well just stop the route.
So how do you not give them the 8 and the 4?
I'm playing on the angle. I'm playing on the side.
Yeah.
I'm never
half of the man?
Yeah, I'm half a man.
Okay.
I'm half a man. I'm either on one side of your number or I'm on the other side of your number.
Yeah.
But I'm not.
There was probably a 3-game span that you actually hit me up about somebody getting in my chest and just how I was getting off the ball.
Yeah.
And it's literally
what happens every time you play one of them New England teams where they're butching you?
Huh? Chill out, man.
Just saying.
I'm sliding on the.
I keep telling you to try and get a.
He was talking about just a safety.
Just a safety. Okay.
Yeah, he wasn't talking about that. It was
bro, you can't let him square you up like that.
But it's literally it's as small as what your stance, and then on top of that, it's just being the aggressor.
Right.
If you give the defense the ability to try and react off of them, I just feel like you're putting yourself at a disadvantage. If you always have the defense reacting to what you're doing, you're going to have the upper hand because that's the timing of the timing of the route and the ball placement. All that is just going to take it. It's going to do its job for you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's kind of like golf, man. You got to let the club do the work.
Right.
You know what I mean? You just got to go out there and just make sure you get some good contact, baby.
That's it. I mean, my line, I'm looking, I was constantly moving my hands because I want, preferably, I want him to react first. You reach, I teach. Because once you reach, I'm grabbing this.
Yeah.
It's over.
Be physical.
If I get my hands on you, it's over.
Yeah.
As a bigger guy, I'm not letting you touch me.
Right. In today's NFL, what leads you to say you'd have unbelievable numbers? Is it the fact that they pass that much more, or is it the way the game's called in favor of offense?
Both, because you have to understand, I think in my 14-year career, I think I had 10 1,000-yard rushers. I had a 2,000-yard rusher, a 1,750-yard rusher.
It seemed like they could put anybody in there.
Yeah.
Those Broncos teams, it was crazy.
Yeah, but that's the way we won the game.
Yeah.
But now you play in so much space.
Yeah.
I mean, Trav has to spend like 80% of his time in a flex position.
No doubt. Yeah.
And to be able to stand up and to see the field, I can see that triangle. I says, okay, man, stop. Y'all ain't playing no cover 2, but y'all finna go to quarter. Y'all finna go to lurk. Y'all ain't playing no 2. Y'all playing cover 6. Who y'all kidding?
Yeah.
So I can see all that. You have to understand, when I'm in a down position, by my third step, I have to have read the defense.
Yeah.
Now, if I'm in the up position, I can see. I already know what you're going to go to.
Well, and once you've removed yourself from the box, they have to declare.
Yeah.
If they don't, they're going to be compromised. Right?
I know. I can see. I'm watching from the TV now. It's like, God, that guy's cheating down. He coming.
Yeah.
There's a reason why this safety is cheating down, because the guy over Trav is coming.
Yes.
He coming.
Yeah.
It's like, you do realize he can't hear you. But I know. I'm hoping he can. I'm hoping he can hear me. But I know we're on the same page.
You know we're on the same page. But another thing that has helped out a lot in terms of just defensive recognition is Coach Reed loves to put us in motion. And what that does to the defense, they have to communicate. It changes a lot of the rules, especially in the box. and the safeties when they come down into the box, but it's just it helps declare everything.
Yes.
And we did one of the dumbest things ever in college for a tight end.
What?
Oh my gosh.
We would stand with our hands on our hips.
They stole that from
in
Iowa.
line.
Did they?
When I
Iowa
tell
used to
you,
do that.
When I tell you, I've seen guys get jacked up in the run game looking like that. But it was to try and help see what the defense and see what's going on the other side of the field. Because when you have your hand in the ground, I mean, you can still kind of see everything, but for the most part, you're just seeing what's in front of you.
Right. Well, the thing that really helped me is that because I started out is that reading the triangle. So by the time I got down, I was like, okay, over front. This is what they like to play in the over front.
Yes.
This is like what they play in the under front. And so by my third step, okay, this is what it is. Now I'm going.
When you say read the triangle, what's that mean? I don't know.
Well, I'm looking at you, and you. I'm looking at corner.
The pieces in front of you.
Yes. Safety.
Safety.
And I'm looking at the backside. I ain't worried about the backside corner. I'm looking at that safety.
Yeah.
So are you going to rock and roll, which means one of you come down, the other go to the hole?
Sure.
Are you going to split?
Yes.
Or are you going to stay there and show me that it's quarters?
Gotcha. Yeah.
So
and right away, just by that rotation.
And now I know what I got to do with my route. Because at the end of the day, I don't give a damn what you do.
Mm-hmm.
As long as when my back foot hit, you're ready to get the ball. The hardest thing for me was to slow myself down. Because I was getting open, but John wasn't ready to throw the ball.
Yeah.
And so by the time he's ready to throw the ball, the defenders are caught back up. He's like, hey, you got to slow down.
Yeah.
Because I'm so angry. Whoop, whoop. But I was like, give me the rock. He's like, bruh, I mean,
still going through my progression.
Exactly. Well, no, even the progression, because here's the thing: 1, 2, 3, okay, the ball's gonna come out.
Okay.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, the ball's gonna come out. It can't cover you out of 5-step drop, and I can't throw it in 3.
Gotcha.
So now I'm rhythmic. Now I got time. I can really set this guy up. And the thing was, I'm working on things in practice, and the thing that really helped me is that guy, safety would tell me, hey, you tipped that one. I was like, bro, I said, that's some of my best stuff. He said, I could tell you started getting on your toes.
Yes.
He said, when you get on your toes, you break it in or out. Now, I got to guess which one, but because you stayed inside of me, I had a feeling that you was going to break out.
Yeah.
So now that keeps me, okay, I got to stay on my toes.
Yeah.
If you can beat the guys in practice that see you every day, that's seen you every day for 3, 4, 5 years, come game time, they got no chance.
Chance.
Because I don't care how much film you walk, it's the intricacies that you can pick up when you're like right there.
Yeah.
Like certain guys' foot plays. I watch a guy and I'm just looking at his feet.
Yes.
He's square. Oh, he's run. Oh, he got a split stagger just a little bit.
Yes.
Oh, you finna come on the blitz, ain't it?
Yes.
You finna rush, ain't it? I know.
Yes.
Stop lying. You are coming.
Seriously. No, and all those little things add up. And that's a mark when you got a good team. I mean, you won 3 Super Bowls with 2 different teams.
2 different teams.
Only
getting that feedback is important from your. If you see something in your buddy, you might as well tell them because they're damn sure that they're going to see it on film,
right?
Or somebody you play a bunch in your division is going to start to feel that tendency, right?
Or you see a guy, he's in a down stance, or if he's light. I see a D lineman, he light. Oh, you dropping?
Yeah.
Are you not coming? You mean to tell me you're not gonna come? So why your hands barely touching the ground?
Right.
Because if you got too much pressure on it, you can't get up out of there.
Yeah.
So your hand barely touching.
You just talked about evened up stance versus elongated, right? First, second down, a lot of those D linemen more evened up, right? They're getting ready to defend the run.
Right.
All of a sudden, they drop that foot back on first, second down. You're like, okay, somebody's tipping them.
Yeah.
Why is this dude getting in a pass rush stance first, second down? Then you start looking at the tackle stand. Like, it's a whole.
Yeah.
We got to get to the down. I can't be having dudes passing the rush, knowing when it's pass or run.
Yeah.
That ain't fun.
And they get on different levels. Like, what y'all twisting? I mean, what y'all got going on? Why y'all so on such different levels?
All right, we're giving up too much information to D-line. You got to stop.
D-line ain't thinking about all this, are they?
Hey, they're getting smart now. They used to not be.
They're getting smart.
They used to not be.
Right.
And now, you know what they're doing is they're recording the game footage and they're getting your verbiage.
Yep.
And I think it's happening more now than it ever used to.
Of course.
And so now it's on us to really change it up and to make it so that similar calls are happening in run and pass or this play and that play so that you can't get pigeonholed.
Right.
Hey, every time he says this, they're blocking man on man. Every time he says this, it's a pass play. Every time he says this, it's a run play.
Yeah.
You can't do that anymore.
One of my best games, we played in the Chargers, and Junior said every time they said Reno or Nevada, they went to a cover 2.
Yeah.
And so I said, Mike, every time they say Reno or Nevada, they go cover 2. He's like, really? I said, no matter what whether over front or under front, it does not matter. When I hear Reno, they go every single snap. Every time they went to it, I ended the day with, let's just put it like this. I was an AFC offensive player.
That's nice. That's good stuff. There.
AFC offensive player of the week after that game.
We talked about 7th round pick. We also talked about no cell phones.
Yeah.
What was it like getting drafted?
What was it like?
Is it 1990?
1990.
What was it like getting drafted in 1990?
Well, back then the draft started on Sunday.
Was it all in one day?
No, it was. I think the first 2 rounds were Sunday, and then the next Monday was the rest of the draft.
Okay.
And then when I didn't get drafted on Sunday, I was at my brother's house in South Carolina, and so I didn't get drafted. So I remember going upstairs and he said, "Hey, bro, we gonna be good." He's like, "Bro, don't even worry about it. You know, hey, I got you. Whatever happens is gonna happen." I say, "But I got you." I said, "Man, I just want an opportunity."
Yeah.
So we woke up. I woke up the next morning. I said, "Man, come on, man. I just want to go lift. Let's go lift."
Yeah.
So we're at the University of South Carolina. We're in the gym.
How you lifting? This while the draft is going on?
Yeah, they're drafted. Because I'm already just like, well, it is what it is.
Yeah, but how are you gonna? You ain't got a cell phone. How are they gonna call you?
It is. Hey.
Wasn't even worried about it.
But no, at that point in time, I'm already pissed off. So I remember I'm in the gym and I'm working out. It's like, hey, call for Shannon Sharpe. I'm like, man, who know I'm here? Nobody know I'm here.
Yeah.
It's Coach Reeves. No, it's Lyde Huggins. Lyde Huggins at the time, he said, we just took you in the 7th round and you was excited to be a Bronco? I said, man, I'm very excited. I said, I really appreciate this. I said, you guys ain't going to regret this. Coach Reeves gets on the phone. Coach Reeves says, okay. Now I know about your brother, but your brother can't catch any passes for you here. He says, I expect you to come in and work. I said, Coach Reeves, I'm going to work hard.
Yeah.
So I'll show you.
So you were in the gym.
I'm in the gym working out.
God, hey, that's got to be the most exciting news a head coach.
Man.
You call a guy to get drafted, and he's in the gym working out? I am hype. Yeah. I am like, yes, we got a player.
We got the right.
So I go.
We got the right.
They got the ticket. They send me. I go to go home, get my bag. They send me a ticket. I go out there.
Yeah.
And same thing I said when I went to Savannah State. I was like, man, I can't go back. I got to make this team. I said, man, I can't go back to Glenville. I can't go back to Savannah State, and I'm not on the roster, man. I said, man, I had a great career at Savannah State. Nobody believed in me. Nobody believed that I could make it from Glenville going to Savannah State. They're like, yeah, you're the best player here, but you won't be the best player at college. Well, you're the best player at college. You ain't gonna make. I said, man, I'm later for that. So, man, I got to Denver. I just worked, and I remember we were in training camp. And this is what I like. I would never do this. When I make this team, I'm never going to do this. I didn't know the play. So I asked the guy, I said, man, what I got on this route? He said, run this. Guess I go in there, I run it. It's wrong.
Oh, no.
Bad. Coach Reeves used to get upset, and there's this big old vein just popping out the side of his neck. What are you doing? If you don't know the effing play, don't go in the game. I just look at it, but we competing for the job.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
So I said,
I never had it in me do anything like
yeah,
that.
I said, bro, I would never do anything like that.
That ain't right.
But
You think he did it on purpose?
of course he did. I mean, you compete for a job. You know, hey.
It's suspicious.
Yeah. I mean, and I know he knew what to do because he was there the year before.
Right. It wasn't like.
So it was all good, and I just make sure I know what I'm supposed to do. So
not all good,
I can't fault him because I didn't know. Hell, I should have known what to do from the beginning. But I just would have never. He could have just said, I don't know.
Yeah.
That's a pro's mentality to take right there. I would have been fucking pissed at him, though.
No, I mean, but look, when I was in Baltimore, they drafted Todd Heap in the first round. I know they got to let Todd play sooner rather than later, but my job is to get him ready as soon as I possibly can. Because if something happened to me during the season, Todd's going to be ready to play.
Man, you know it.
Todd is going to be a reflection of me. How well he plays that year, how well he plays moving forward, had a lot to do with the information and little subtleties that I helped teach him along the way. So for me, I was never insecure about somebody beating him out for the job.
Yeah.
I tell guys all the time, I taught him everything he knows. I didn't teach him everything I know. I saved some of that stuff just in case.
You drafted as receiver.
I was drafted as a receiver.
Travis, I think by most people's.
Where are you going with this?
He was drafted as a quarterback?
No, well, he was.
No, I am a receiver.
Yes, I think most people will say Travis is not a tight end. He is a receiver.
Right.
What is the difference anymore between a tight end? Are they, like we play 11 personnel
with
the F receiver.
Yeah.
Difference
and
is
he
the
goes out and
contracts.
digs that safety out. Okay, we do the same thing out of 12. They're a nickel regardless.
Right.
What is a tight end just a receiver? At this
Yeah, they
point?
call them
in certain offenses.
They call them receiving tight ends now. they distinguish them because they're really like nobody really runs the ball, so they're not needing the tight end to be at the point of contact.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, basically, he's doubling, leading up, going to the safety, or they doubling and getting up to the backer. They scoop blocking and things of that nature.
Sure.
But where he's like responsible. I mean, Kittle.
Setting the point.
Now, Kittle.
Yes, he does.
He's a dog. That's
He that boy dog. He puts on a clinic.
Yeah.
every week.
He puts on a
Every
clinic.
week.
He dumping people on their back.
It's impressive.
Yeah.
Very
yeah,
impressive.
Yeah.
Especially, like you said, those 4-down defensive ends who are putting their hands in your chest, coming off the ball,
for him
3-point stance.
to go one-on-one with a guy in a 7 technique or to dig a guy in a 5.
Yeah.
I ain't had no chance with the 5. I'm like, babe, bro, don't you cut that back. You
Just
cut
cut
that
him.
back, you gonna put that helmet in your hip.
Why don't you just cut them?
Oh, we did not.
Yeah.
I don't think you can. You cut now?
You can.
You can if you're attached. If
If you're attached, you can't
attached to the line.
You can't like post them up and then cut them
Yeah.
anymore. They got way of that. But as long as you're in the tackle box and within 5 yards
Yeah.
plus or minus,
Yeah.
you can still do it. But it doesn't happen that much anymore.
My first 5 years in the league, I was throwing at everybody. I was throwing at safeties, corners.
Oh yeah,
linebackers.
But if you go back and watch our tape, it's like synchronized swimming.
Yeah.
Because all 4 down linemen feet were up in the air.
Yeah,
because we don't cut everybody.
It's like a mandatory cut on the backside,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And that's the way it was when we first started running outside zone. When I first got installed, you didn't have an option.
Yeah.
You're cutting on the backside.
Absolutely. Because the thing was, we were a cutback team.
Yeah.
And TD needed to know he could cut back and the helmet wouldn't be in his hip.
Right.
So I'm putting him, you going on the ground, bro.
Yeah, yeah.
You going on the ground.
What was the hardest type of player to cut, you think? Lateral?
Yeah.
If they're moving lateral, then it's a little bit like, I don't know if I'm going to get them.
The thing was, I was so quick.
Yeah.
And so I could, and before they know it, and they try to get, but I'm up under them.
You're already under them.
I'm up under them.
Yeah.
And so all I needed was the tackle to like make him do this.
Yeah.
If he did that, it's over.
It's done.
It's over.
Once
But
he's turned and he's not square anymore, he can't
It's
defend
over.
it. Yeah.
It's over. It's over for him.
Yeah.
I had some great tackles. I mean, both of my tackles in the Hall of Fame. Gary Zimmerman was a 2-time all NFL player in the 80s and the 90s, and then Jonathan Ogden was all decade player in the
pretty darn
2000s.
good, yeah.
So 80s and 90s with Zim and Jo was. And I said, look, guys, I'm coming.
Yeah.
I'm coming. So they knew. I said, I'll cut you. I don't want to.
Yeah.
I don't want to.
You better get out of the way.
Better get out of the way.
Yeah. It's a dying art. It really is. And it's
It
a
is.
shame that, the NFL's always trying to make the game safer.
Yeah.
But I always felt like that prevented the defense. If you're out of control, you can get cut.
Yes.
If you're under control and moving like lateral, it's a hard person to cut.
Yeah, it is.
So in a way, now guys can go out of control. There's no, what's the harm in going out of control now at the second level?
Yeah.
A linebacker can run right through your face without having to worry about anything. Before, it's like, all right,
Yeah,
come at me. I'm gonna take them knees out real quick.
Yeah, we were notorious for scooping.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
and we put you on the second level. I mean, Alex Gibb, who was the O-line coach and our run game coordinator.
Yeah.
Oh, you had to put him on the ground.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's what it drives me crazy with screens to see offensive linemen try to stay up. Just throw.
Well, that you can't anymore.
Can't anymore.
You can't cut.
Not in
Really?
space.
It's elephants on parade out there in space, baby. It is.
Like the five-
it is.
the
It is
five-
not a good sight right now. I used to love it. I used to love cutting out in space.
He then
Oh,
My
man.
damn,
too.
can't do it anymore. You can only within 5 yards
The
and in the
like
tackle
barrels
box.
in Donkey Kong. He just barrel rolls somebody.
You can do it if it's like a middle screen,
Right.
But it's risky.
Yeah.
You got to get him before you get.
Yeah,
5
they
yards
outlawed
downfield.
it a few years ago.
So that's what I was like, bro, why y'all are not?
Yeah, because before same thing. It used to not be an option.
Right.
It's like, listen, you're too fat and slow
Right.
to try and redirect with this man in space. Use that length.
I thought
size.
I thought you guys were just trying to run over the little guy.
Well, they do that too.
Yeah,
They
I know,
try. But no, you can't cut anymore out in space, unfortunately.
Man.
Yeah. Anyways, I don't know how we just got into a side traffic about cutting. I love
I
cutting.
love it.
All right,
Yeah.
whatever.
It's gotta be
Man, you
fired
don't
up.
cut anybody. You don't really try to cut anybody.
Huh? Only on whack.
When's the
box.
last time you cut?
I can give it at least one.
They're trying to
one
outlaw
game.
that cut too now.
Yeah, they
You're
are.
talking about,
Yeah.
the
Back block.
split zone?
Yeah.
They're trying to outlaw that going back and cutting the DN because a couple guys tore their knees up last year doing
Yeah.
it.
Well, DNs are just cutting back now.
I know.
They're
It's-
just- they're just
and then it's
meeting
just
you
two
down
guys
there.
trying to cut each other, which is always funny to see. Just like two guys butting heads and
Right.
falling on the ground right away, which is a win for the offense.
Yeah,
I'm
every
fine with
time.
that. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know where we're going with it, but
Yeah.
I like. All right, well, that's enough with cutting. We're two brothers in the NFL. You very notoriously had a brother in the NFL. Yeah, what was it like having Sterling in the NFL as an older brother leading the way?
Man, it was different because my brother, we have a very different relationship. It's almost like he's my father.
Really?
Because my father died at a young age, my grandfather died at a young age, and so the dominant male figure that I saw on a regular basis was him, and I wanted to be just like him.
And what was the age difference?
3 years.
3 years.
3 years. Everything, I went everywhere he went. I wore every number that he wore. I wanted to be just like my brother. I mean, my first college girlfriend looked just like his college girlfriend.
I got to give me one of those.
Yeah, man. I mean, I'm talking about from the hairstyle. I'm talking about from the way she was built, her skin complexion, her teeth. They were exact. I didn't even think about it.
Yeah.
Until I brought her home, and my sister, she like, that girl looked just like Tammy, which was my brother's girlfriend at the time. And I was like, I ain't really think about it, but now that you think about it, she really does. But it was great because he told me everything that I needed to know. And he was always that brother that told me what I needed to know and not what I wanted to hear. Mm-hmm. And he would always find a way to my basketball games. He would always find a way to come back and see a basketball game. The track meets, he would drive 3 hours just to see me run. He always went to the state track meet and said, okay, this is what we're going to do. Yeah. You're going to have, because you got to throw the disc. I was a field event guy. He says, okay, you only got one jump. You only got two jumps. You got to win it. Triple jump was my specialty. Mm-hmm. He said you got to win it on the first or second jump because you still got a long jump later today and you got to throw the disc also. Yeah. And we still got to run later today also. So we got to save these legs. And so my thing was to nail that first jump, win the meet with that jump. Mm-hmm. And then when I got to college, I wasn't going to go to Savannah State because after I did, I was Prop 48. Prop 48 went into effect my first year, 1986. Okay. So if you didn't make 7 on the SAT, you couldn't go to D1. And so at that time, I was like, I had already lined it up. I was going to take the test. I was going to go to the Air Force. And my brother came down and says, you will go, say, Savannah State still interested? I said, yeah, Coach Davis said, yeah, scholarship as long as I wanted it. He said, you're going to go to Savannah State and you're going to go for a year. And if you don't like it, you can say, hey, I went and it wasn't for me. I went. And the rest is, they say, history. Mm-hmm. So when I'm go to the league, he says, this is what you need to do. This is how you need to prepare. Mm-hmm. He says, now, John Elway going to come to you one day. He said, you're going to need to know what to do, and you're going to need to make plays for him when he does come to you. Okay. And so he was always constantly reminding me of things that I needed to do. He believed in me even more so than I believed in myself. I remember he would always tell his friend, when I was in high school, he said, he better athlete than me. He just doesn't work hard. When I got to college and I would go visit him at the University of South Carolina, he would always say he's a better athlete than me, but he doesn't work hard enough. And then I was like, man, is he like really boosting me up, or does he really believe that? Yeah. I was just naturally talented that I could just okay, you show me what to do. I'm a visual learner. Mm-hmm. You show it to me. Okay, I can do that. Right. And so I was like, man, I think he might believe that I'm more talented. And I was, and now that I look back at it, I had more God-given ability than he had. He just worked harder than I did. Yeah. And so once I combined the God-given ability that God gave me with my work ethic, and I was like, man, I could really be. And then I saw my body transform. Mm. And I was like, I was always like in shape. I've always had muscle. I always was abbed up. But now all of a sudden, I'm going from 180 to 190 with abs, to 205 with abs, to 220 with abs. And I was like, yeah, I've arrived now. And so it's the greatest thing. I just hate, and I tell this people all the time, I would trade my career, every dime that I've ever earned, to switch places with my brother. Because he deserved to be where I am. Yeah. In the Pro Football Hall of Fame. It broke my heart when he told me he was never going to be able to play the game again. I played football. Football was my worst sport in high school, and the only reason I played because he played and I wanted to be like him. Yeah. I was a much better basketball player. I was a much better track athlete, but I played football because my brother played. And, man, it broke my heart when he said it was over. And it's like, man, now I got to continue the Sharpe legacy. I got to go places and do things that what he was doing. Because at that time, it was he and Jerry neck and neck. Mm-hmm. He had won the Triple Crown. He had led the league in receptions 3 times. He had led the league in receiving yards twice. He had led the league in touchdowns twice. And then just like that. His last year, he caught 18 touchdowns, 94 passes over 1,000 yards, and never played another snap at 29.
Oh my gosh.
It was over. Just
Still
like
in the
that.
prime of his career.
Just like that, it was over.
Still a legendary career, though.
Yeah,
Even in the short term, or the amount of games that he played in.
Is there anything looking back you wish you would have been able to do with him in the NFL outside of him having success? Like as a brother, like
2 years after he retired, we played Green Bay in the Super Bowl. And so we're doing an interview, and I say, when we win this game, he didn't know it at the time. I said, I'm gonna give him a ring.
Mm-hmm.
And so that was my proud of all the things that I've gifted, and I've gifted a lot of things. You know, I've helped a few college people out along the way. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's probably the thing that I'm proudest of all the gifts that I've given in my life.
Yeah.
Giving my brother that first Super Bowl ring, because that meant the world to me, because it meant more to me to give it to him than it would have ever meant to me for winning it.
Did you feel like he was almost just a big of a part of you winning?
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. I don't have the career that I had he not been my older brother. I would not have had the career that I had I not given me the support. He gave me just enough to make me hungry to try to go get it.
Yeah.
He's 3 years older than me, but he precedes me in the NFL. So, you know, he has an M3 BMW. Hey, bro, let me get that. Come get it. So I'm driving on campus, HBCU with an M3. He has a 930 slant nose Porsche
BMOC?
with 330 rim, tires on the back. Come get it.
Yeah.
He has a big Benz. Come get it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I gotta have this.
Yeah.
SL. Come get it. So I'm thinking to myself, bro, I want all this. It wasn't like, and sometimes, you know, people like, they're like, what was it like living in the shadow? I say, I was never in the shadow. I embraced that I was his little brother, and I wanted to be like him, and I wanted to eclipse what he had done. Yeah. So I never felt overshadowed. And so he knew that if I just give him a little, it's going to drive him to go get it. So every car that my brother got, I went and got it.
Okay.
Ferrari, even I'll put him in the poorhouse. You know, I'm making $200,000. I got a $200,000 car. I don't know how that works.
That's bad business. We do not recommend this. But
we were talking about it on Club Shay. This is how I went broke.
Yeah,
I went broke my first year in the league.
Yeah, I'm like, hey, I got a S500. I got a Ferrari. I got a $600,000 crib, and I got what I have, a 4-door Blazer, making $325. I stretched it. You know what I'm saying? I stretched 325 and got all that.
I'll tell you what, my brother, when he got to the league, it was he was working with a car dealership up in Philly, and he had just bought an F-150, brand new F-150. And me being me, I totaled the car that I had in college. So I was walking around on campus, and he knew I needed a car. Drives his F-150 down knowing that he was going to get a dealership car to ride around Philadelphia.
Yeah, I forgot.
So what do I do? I'm like, oh, man, I got this really nice car. I wasn't traveling because I had this kind of hoopty that was just getting me to campus and back. So I take the car. Within the first 10 hours of me having the vehicle, I go up to Cleveland, visit the Boom Boom Room. Went to the strip club. Came back out of the strip club.
What happened when you left the strip club, Travis?
That car was gone.
What happened?
Man left the keys in the car. Left the keys in the car.
He didn't tell me there was a spare key in the glove compartment. I had the key. I just didn't lock the car.
First of all, he told me that.
Strippers got me.
What did you tell me? You told me something that was false. What'd you tell me initially?
Huh?
What'd you tell me initially that was, you lied to me initially?
Did I lie?
Yes, always. You always lie.
That's my first go-to.
Yeah. He lied initially. I told the insurance company what he had told me.
Right.
And the insurance company, no, that's not what happened.
They found the car 2 months ago just in a random mall parking lot with no gas in it.
Yeah.
No broken windows.
No nothing.
No nothing.
They're like, nobody forced their way into this vehicle. Dude over here. All right. Well, hearing you talk the way you do about.
We got that F-150 back, though.
We did get it back. We did get it back. You also ran it into the ground, and it broke down within a couple years after getting it back.
No, don't put that on me, man.
Yeah, I'm putting that on me.
That wasn't a part of the story, man.
All right. It didn't last long. Hearing the way you talk about Sterling, it makes sense that this is how you talk to young players or to talk to current guys like Trav. Like, I think that his impact on you and how you felt, you try to do that to other players is very clear. And I just want to say I appreciate you reaching out to Trev.
You already know. And I'm going to pass it along to the
that's
next guy.
That's what it's supposed to be playing in the league. That's what it's supposed to be as a former player, an older player on the team. Like, I don't know.
In every field. In every field,
Yeah.
whether it's business, whether it's – I'm trying to help anybody be the best version of themselves. And
Yeah, I don't. But a lot of times, like I've talked to guys, and I don't really tell people who I talk to because I don't want the guy to think that, oh, you telling people that you helping me, you want
You're
credit
doing
for what
it
I
just
do.
for.
No.
That's not the way it's supposed to be. Yeah.
So
yeah.
I will always ask them. Say, you mind if I mention something? Like, oh, no problem.
Yeah.
So I'm very conscious, not to say like I talk to such and such, unless I would talk to Larry Fitzgerald, and he's like, hey, look, I don't care.
Yeah.
But for the most part, if I talk to a guy, I never mention it on air because what we talk about is just between he and I. It's just like sometimes like, do you mind if I mention? I was like, hey, I reached out to him, told him there's some things that I saw that he was doing that might help him.
Yeah.
And he appreciated it. He gave me the thumbs up. He's like, he appreciated it. But that's for the most part, that's what I do. I just feel like, it's my job is to give back.
Right.
Is to help those guys be the best they can possibly be. And hopefully when they're in a position and they can help and they can give back, they give back. It doesn't do me any good to have knowledge that I know can help someone and not share it.
Right.
I got to ask this before we get this last
Okay,
section.
go. It's all, by the way.
Three Super Bowl teams.
Yeah.
Out of those 3 Super Bowl teams, I'm just going to pick the 2, the Broncos, Ravens, those teams. If they go at it, who's winning?
Which team I'm on?
Well, no, I don't even know how to.
That settles that. That was the easiest one.
All right, there you go. That's good shit.
I will say this. Because that Ravens defense, you can't play defense like they played back then.
Right.
If you go back and look, they played 4 playoff games and they gave up 3, 10, 3, 7.
Can't do it anymore.
And the 7 came on a kick return. Mm-hmm. If you go back and look at, it was like punt, pick, punt, fumble, punt, pick, punt, down.
Yeah.
Wasn't it like the first 9 games of the season they didn't allow a touchdown?
Well, not only are they not allowing touchdowns, they're scoring touchdowns.
Yeah, we were knocking.
It was like.
Well, I think the thing for them, the defense, if your quarterback finished the game, you can consider you won because they was knocking your quarterback out.
Wow.
they knocked your quarterback out the game.
Yeah. That's fucking football right there.
Yeah. You think
Bring back that.
They gave up 100.
They tried.
If we're not that, then I don't want to do this anymore.
They gave up 165 points in 16 games.
Wait, Tom, I say that again.
They gave up 165 points in 16 games.
Oh, my gosh.
Now, you do realize pick sixes go against their total.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
They gave up.
They gave up an average of 10 points a game.
Yeah, they gave up. If you look at
Slightly
what they
more.
actually gave up, they gave up 3 points to the Broncos in the playoff game. They gave up 10. They gave up 3. They gave up 16 points, that defense, in 4 games.
It was unreal. I mean, it was unbelievable watching that. I talked about it. One of the highlights of my career, welcome to NFL moments, was blocking and playing against Ray Lewis.
Yeah.
I'll never forget that because I grew up playing linebacker. I always wanted to be. Ray Lewis was like my idol. That's who I wanted to be in life. And to be actually blocking him was crazy.
Yeah.
And I remember watching those Baltimore freaking defenses. It was insane.
Yeah.
They were so good.
Yeah. They literally went into the game trying to knock your quarterback out. And for the most part, they did it. They did it. I mean, I think they had like 4 shutouts that year.
Yeah.
They gave up one game. They gave up opening drive. I think it was the Cleveland. Mm-hmm. They had like several shutouts. They gave up 86 yards on the opening drive. They gave up 15 yards the rest of the game.
15?
Could you imagine how demoralizing that would be?
Scoring 10 points, period, is already demoralizing. I can only imagine.
How many yards we got this half? 15.
Yeah, we got 15.
What? We should just be running quarterback sneak every play. We'd have more than a yard.
He mentioned welcome to the league. Do you have a welcome to the league moment?
My first year there, we played the 49ers in the preseason. They had just beat the Broncos the previous year in the Super Bowl 55-10. Mm-hmm. So now I get a chance to see Joe Montana. I see Jerry Rice.
Oh, gosh, yeah.
I'm like, man, Ronnie Lott. Mm-hmm. I'm like, man. I mean, to see Jerry run down the sideline, to see Joe run down the sideline, to see Ronnie Lott. And then later that year, Ozzie Newsome was my favorite player growing up. To see Ozzie, it was just like to see guys that you saw on television, and then like going out to the Raiders, and you see the Raiders, and you see Al Davis, and you see James Garner, who was in the Rockford file, and then you saw the Raiderettes, and the way they had it, like you come out the tunnel and the cheerleaders, like 40 of them just lined up.
They didn't design it like that, did they?
They didn't. They were distracting
Yes.
me. Because I went out there and I
we
got
get their heads out of the game right now.
I got it handed to me on special teams, but I was distracted. But man, that was it. Just seeing guys, and you know, you play the Steelers and you see Joe Green and you see Franco Harris and you see all the greats that you saw like growing up, and you see these guys, although you know they weren't in uniform, but I did my rookie year. Mike Webster, was the center for the Chiefs.
That's right. He did go to the Chiefs for a couple years after. Yeah, Iron Mike.
And he had them sleeves rolled up.
Yeah,
and he was jacked.
Yeah. He was I mean, that's the best center of all time, probably.
Yeah.
I mean, some other guys up there too, but
I mean the Steelers. I mean he, Dermontti Dawson.
I know.
Stevenson.
Yes.
From the Dolphins.
Stevenson. Yep. There's some dogs, so it's hard to give it to one guy.
Yeah.
But
I think
let me put it this way: when I came into the league, Howard Mudd instituted one rule.
Yeah.
As the center, it was my job to do it. And it was called the Webby rule.
Right.
And the Webby rule was when the ball gets spotted and we break this huddle, you don't walk to the line, you run to the line. And the reason that we did that is because Mike Webster did. Mm-hmm. And when you have a rule named after somebody, you're one of the greats.
If I'm not mistaken, I think him and Jim Otto are the all 100 anniversary team for the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
I think him and Otto.
The double eagle?
Yeah.
It fits.
Yeah.
Here, let's get to this last section. This is you don't have to answer it, but we got to ask. Okay. First one is previously on this show, we asked, could an average person rush for 1 yard in the NFL? So we're asking you right here, right now, could Skip Bayless get a single yard in the National Football League if you gave him?
No. I'm not saying because he's average. Ain't no way they're going to let him get a yard. Ain't no way. They're going to go out of their way.
Yes.
And I'm not so sure the offensive line is going to block for him to get that yard. So that's what's going to happen with that one.
Oh, my gosh.
That's the best answer. You've won a Super Bowl in Raymond James Stadium. How does that feel?
I mean, we won. I mean, I didn't think we was going to lose
because I got smoked.
Yeah,
I didn't like the cannons going off and all that.
There was no cannons going off.
It was not a good experience.
It definitely wasn't no cannons going off for the Giants.
I didn't like that one. So who's a better dresser, me or you?
You know, you got swag. I just can't. I got to the party late. I'm gonna give you a due. You swag.
You got the shoe surgeons on right now?
Yeah.
Time out. What about me? Why am I not in the best?
You can't get into it. The orthopedic. Yes. With them shoes, he walking around the mall, cutting grass.
Hey, these are the grass cutting 3000s right here.
You already know.
Nah, bro. Hey, I'm gonna give you a problem. You do the thing.
You already know we had some fun with it.
You did that.
Could an NFL player play in the NBA and vice versa? Could an NBA player play in the NFL?
Play or be effective?
That's a great question.
What's effective?
I would say be effective. Like make a name, make him a household name.
No.
Neither way. NBA in the NFL or NFL in the NBA.
I don't know if you've ever been to an NBA game, but if you just watch the way the 13th,
I said the same thing.
The 13th guy on the way he can shoot the basketball.
Time out. He asked a different question.
He's saying the same thing that I'm saying.
No, he's not. He's saying, could he be effective? Could somebody go in there and not fuck it up?
Listen,
yes.
all I'm saying is
you don't think so?
The best ticket in professional sports is courtside on the floor. Mm-hmm. Okay,
courtside to watch LeBron.
The first time I ever watched that was the day I realized ain't nobody in the NFL coming out on this court. It ain't gonna happen.
Nah. And definitely ain't nobody from the NBA going out there on the NFL field.
Oh, you don't think so?
No.
See, this is where
they do what?
I don't know, play tight end. Antonio Gates, Tony Gonzalez, all these guys play basketball in college.
But the thing is that, but you talk about guys that didn't do that. Gates and Gonzo played. So it was, but
so
you
played both.
Yeah, none of these guys that's currently playing now.
That's a good point.
Ain't played football maybe since high school.
So you don't think LeBron could go out there and catch a couple touchdowns?
Hell no.
Just toss him the ball.
He don't know how to get up press.
What if they don't press him?
They gonna press him.
What if they're playing?
You be foolish not to press him.
About to say,
because he gonna jump over the top of you and catch it.
His arms are like an 8-foot wingspan.
That's why I'm gonna press him. Because he don't know how to use it. He don't know how to get up press.
You've had legendary guests on Club Shay Shay. Who would be your dream guest that you haven't got on yet?
I got a few. President Obama would be one.
Oh, wow.
That'd be good.
Yeah.
It's a smooth criminal right there.
Denzel Washington would be two. The Rock would be three.
Naming a lot of.
About to say that.
Oprah would be.
That's a damn good list. I mean, God, I don't know that I've heard a better list than that.
About to say, and they all sound like you can definitely get them on.
Yeah. Well, I
So
don't.
that would be yeah.
All right.
That's awesome. Well, we got one last question from this big guy right here.
If you could talk to your rookie self, what advice would you give you?
Sure wish my mom would have waited 10 years. You know what? I mean, what would I tell myself? I don't know. Honestly, guys, from the time that I made it, everything was about football.
Yeah.
I ate, I slept, I breathed, I talked football. And I think I was terrible at a lot of things except football. I was terrible at being a brother, terrible at being a son, I was terrible at being a father, I was terrible at being a boyfriend. I was terrible at all of those, but I was a damn good football player.
Yeah.
Probably, I wish I could I would go back, if I could tell my rookie self, I would say the way you judge success, because everything that I look at now is judged by success. And that's the only thing. And so even my relationships now, here I am about to be double nickel in about 4 months, it's still judged by success. And so I would say, Shannon, everything that you've accomplished doesn't mean anything because you don't have anybody to share it with. That's what I would tell myself. I would do it, if I would do it over again, I would find that one person, and that's what I would do.
Hey, man, it ain't too late.
No.
Ain't too late.
Yeah. Look better than me.
I would say, you know, hint.
Yeah, I know.
You share it with Shannon.
Hey, okay. I like that. Yes.
So this is how we close this show.
All right.
See, you like my brother. We're like, so, I mean, we're similar, but we're so different.
Yeah.
We're so different. You married, settled down early, him, me.
I'm at Club Shay Shay.
He's more talented and more athletic. A dresser. A lot of things going for. What? Yeah, this isn't even on the thing. What is Sterling doing now?
Golfing.
He's golfing, yeah.
He's a golfer.
I got to meet him out in Tahoe.
He's a scratch golfer.
That's pretty damn good.
Yeah, but he plays every day.
Yeah.
He's like most. I guarantee he practices as much as a tour pro.
Wow.
He's hitting the range.
Got range, chipping, putting.
You can get into it?
Nah, bro. I'd rather my hobby is the gym. That's what I like to do. I like to work out.
Does he give lessons? Because I can't play golf.
Nah, for me, for you, you're gonna have to wait till you're done. Because you're too tight up here. You got to be able to be fluid.
I know.
That's why the quarterbacks, because they don't really do no upper body, so they fluid. They can do it.
They can get the hips around. They got the movement in the chest. And
yeah.
That is one. I did take one lesson. I'd never taken lessons. I took a lesson, and the one thing that I took from it, the golf pro said, "When you get done, do you plan on losing weight?"
Yeah.
He's like, "Come back when you do that."
You definitely got to be small through the course.
All right. Well, that wraps it up for this episode of New Heights. Again, thank you so much to the legend.
Legend.
Thanks for having me
Shannon
on, guys.
Sharpe for coming on. Club Shay Shay. Make sure you subscribe to Club Shay Shay on YouTube and follow my man Unc. And also listen and subscribe to us wherever you get your podcasts. And click that subscribe button if you're watching on YouTube. And don't forget, our live show is happening Wednesday, April 26th in the Kansas City Music Hall. New Heights will be live and in person.
Live.
So keep following the show to find out how you might be able to snag some tickets.
All right now. Once again, New Heights is presented by Wave Sports and Entertainment and brought to you by our friends at Fireball. Follow the show on all social media platforms at New Heights Show with 1S for fun clips throughout the week. Thanks to our production and crew for always making us look good. And thank you to the 92%ers and thank you to Unc for coming through and blessing us for the evening, man. Until the next time, peace. I love it, man. I love it, man.